Ever wonder what became of David after the chilling events of the ending left us with a villainous android, a ship full of sleeping humans, and a whole lot of potential for chaos. But what if I told you a complete sequel was planned? A story that would have taken David to a truly terrifying place. The Force shifted the franchise's focus. Ridley Scott envisioned a grand arc for David, potentially replacing the xenomorph as the central threat. Unfortunately, didn't quite land with audiences, and those plans were shelved. And I did. However, the seeds of that story lived on in a canceled novel. Legendary author Alan Dean Foster, known for novelizing films, was commissioned to write a direct sequel to it. This wasn't just any sequel. It was set on a horrifying engineer planet, a place where genetic experiments had run wild. Imagine a world overrun with esque versions of everyday animals, dogs, cats, cows, all twisted and terrifying influence. Foster's vision wasn't entirely new. A rejected script penned by Eric Red also explored similar themes of genetic experimentation with creatures like dogs, pigs, and chickens. It seems the idea of hybrid horrors was a recurring fascination. What makes this proposed sequel even more intriguing is its timeline. Foster's story aimed to bridge the gap between and a span of nearly 280 years. Considering David's ageless nature, it's entirely plausible he could have survived that long. Sadly, 20th Century Fox grew concerned about a novel potentially clashing with Scott's future movie plans. They ultimately canceled the project. Instead, tasking Foster with writing a prequel novel, which focused on events leading up to the film. That prequel introduced a cult attempting to sabotage the Covenant's launch, believing the expedition would unleash alien horrors upon Earth. While interesting, it lacked the scale and terrifying potential of Foster's David-centric sequel. It's a shame that we never got to see his vision realized. And then, so what happened to David? We may never know. But the thought of an android orchestrating genetic nightmares on a lost engineer planet is certainly a chilling one. It just goes to show, sometimes the most terrifying monsters aren't the ones we see on screen, but the ones lurking in the stories that never get told. Speaking of terrifying, did you know a xenomorph once tried to order a pizza? They kept asking for extra thorax. With that said, thanks for watching, and until next time.